Ladies and gentlemen, it's Anton here, your host of Boot Scarves 21 Questions, here for BBSC. My name is Anton, as I said earlier. I am the treasurer of the group and also your host, unfortunately, since I'm speaking. Beside me here I have Stephane and Anton, who's also our prestigious president.
That's funny.
The guy who basically spawned what was just an idea in CSL when we were supporting the CCFC, which is now a legitimate group, and we've got some hardcore regulars. You know, even though we're about half a dozen, we're still loud and proud. Thank you, Stephane, by the way, for hosting the podcast, too, in your humble abode.
Oh, yeah. It's not like you never lived here for a while.
No. After the abyss that I've left over the years, hell yeah. Anyway, you just want to get right to it, or what?
Yeah, let's get to it.
Okay, so we've got some things lined up for you here. First off, we want to talk about our group specifically. Couple things. We just want to let you listeners know that we're going to try and do this two-man bit about twice a month. We're also going to do a group, more of a round-the-table discussion at least once a month, so we're going to try and make this a regular project, so keep the listeners in tune and,
up to date
in rhythm, with what's going on in the local sport and even internationally. Who knows? Sky's the limit. Future events coming up. Right now we're in the midst of trying to make some, merchandise for ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
I know you're in charge of scarves, eh?
Oh, yeah, that one's going to be good.
By the way, he's the scarf man. He's got about 20,000. He's only got 20,000 more to go.
I got one coming from Swansea, actually, a friend of mine. But it's not a football scarf, it's a rugby scarf. Hey, my first rugby scarf.
It's a scarf.
Yeah, exactly. No, but the idea with the scarves is you see everyone with scarves. Winter's coming up. What great way to show that you're a footy supporter with a scarf, especially during winter.
In Canada.
Yeah, you'll look normal.
Not American winter. No.
Canadian winter. Let's be specific here. But no, it's a great way to show, and also I figured, great idea. We'll have an inaugural scarf after these 30. We're not going to bring up this design again. This is our very first scarf. That's it. And people buy them. Give them away as presents. Just come buy them. Help support us so we can get money in to help grow the group. So when we go at NASL, we have the money to buy all the flags, to buy all the streamers.
Right. Exactly. And just to add on to that, Gracie O'Malley's over on Ogilvie Road here in Ottawa, gracious host to the Voyageurs Supporters Club for the men's and women's national Canadian teams. We also just recently decided to make our own presence there to show our support for the team and for the Voyageurs, especially for the local sport. Since we're going to be there for the 12th and 16th, our upcoming matches, which are very key if you don't know already and you're into the football world, because these are World Cup qualifiers, man. I mean, shit's happening.
We have to get 4 points.
Exactly. This is do or die. But while we're there, we can take orders. I'm sure you're going to be taking orders from the cute waitress all night long, but I mean, we're still going to be
if
there.
If you can.
Exactly. Try and get her number. How dare you. Anyway.
I could have done that in Toronto with the owner, but I don't think I could have.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a story for another day. We got, 12th and 16th, like we said. Stephane and I will both be there, or at least one of us will be there. If you're interested in getting a scarf, hit us up. We've got receipts. Believe it or not, I just got a book of receipts today. Thank you, Grand & Toy, for hooking us up. Grand & Toy at Rito, I should specify.
Oh, okay. How much did you break the bank with? It
was about $4.
A $5 note. Oh, my God.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway, it's simple. Just come ask us. There'll be $20 a pop. Like you said, it's our inaugural scarf. So, I mean, these are not going to be here forever. Final date for order is the 18th. Beyond that, I'm sorry, go screw yourself, because we're going to make the order and we want them right away.
Yeah, but also after the 18th, that's when we put in the order. It gets sent to us. After that, the price increases to $25 a scarf. And to tell you the honest truth, I've seen prices of scarves at Elgin, and $25 is cheap compared to selling $35 roughneck scarves when they're worth $25.
So clearly we've already got some beef with a couple companies. So hey,
I did my research. What can I say?
Hey, no, he does his research. It's legit. No worries. Actually, no, it's true. Stephane has put in some extensive work into this, so I give him big props for that. I'm sure the rest of the group does, but we're only 2 people right now. Anyway, as well as T-shirts. That's my department, by the way.
Yeah, naturally good.
T-shirts, I just scoped out this new, well, I shouldn't say new, but this company that's downtown in the market. I checked them out today. They're very legit. The guy was willing to do it, $15 a shirt, for a package of 40. That includes, the logo on the front, BBSC, Bytown Boys Supporters Club, with the, complete with the lumberjack, with all the colors and everything. So the logo's legit. Because he's like, oh, it's 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait, what kind of T-shirt do you want? I said, I just, white, plain. Okay, so only 3 colors then. And then I also mentioned that we might even add names on the back if you want a name put on it, like a nickname or something. So anyway, he was nice, and he said, yeah, for 40 T-shirts, $15 a pop. So obviously, we want to make a profit, but it's all towards good use. Don't worry. We're not that corrupt like FIFA.
Yeah,
anyway,
it's all going towards the cause.
Exactly. We got a bunch of causes lined up, which, by the way, is for future news. Listeners, stay in tune for that.
Great charity, too. I really like what they're trying to do.
Absolutely. But the T-shirts, we're going to be selling them for $20 as well. Definitely a good deal, especially if you're a footy fan in the town and if you want to come support us, especially when we make the jump for NASL over at Lansdowne. Let's see what's next upon the agenda. Actually, before NASL comes PDL, which is what we're supporting right now. We just became the official supporters club for the Ottawa Fury. Thank you. Shout out to John Pugh and to Graham. I was about to say Jam.
It's John and Graham. Jam.
There you go. John and Graham Jam.
Jam Jam. There we go. We got nicknames, folks. We're going to abuse and use it. Let's go for it.
We don't have dirty minds, I swear. Anyway.
Or mature.
So this past season, Stephane, do you have any opinions you want to throw out? Any yays and nays? Any pros and cons?
Well, what I really loved about the Fury was their style. They kept moving. They weren't a bunkering team.
Right.
But that was also a bit of their fault, I found, was their back line wasn't as strong. For the way they attacked was not that strong to handle the counterattacks. The system wasn't there. Carlson, great goalkeeping. I honestly believe that's why we survived so long, was because of him.
The only other Carlson we support besides Carlson from the Sens.
Yeah. So but other than that, great movement forward. If anyone saw the list that the team provided us about the history of the players, you saw they weren't kids that were just runabouts, drop downs. They were decent kids. They were working.
There was a decent workhorse team for sure.
Yeah.
It was O'Kane, the head
Stephen
coach.
O'Kane, yeah.
Amazing job with what he did. Him and his whole staff. We were floored. Even when we started watching CCFC, right, we weren't too optimistic about their product, eh?
No.
So you can imagine what our hopes and dreams were.
Dude, we're Villa fans. We're not that big on how far we're going to go. We're like, let's be safe. Let's make an impact.
Well, it's not so much of the, how far we're going to go, but the product that's being put in front of us on the pitch. Especially, like you said, we're Villa fans. We support EPL. So, that is like super high caliber footy, and you're coming to CSL. It doesn't rank CSL, up to it. PDL, but then again, we were still floored. Like I said, we were in awe with the work ethic, and same thing when we went into PDL, going to support Fury now. Our hopes weren't too high either. But, we said, you know what, we're itching to go support something, and we want to be a group that supports the game locally. Let's do it. So we jumped for it. We got hooked, and from game one, from opening kickoff till the final game.
Was not disappointed.
Oh, totally not disappointed. Especially, big shout out to the every single visiting team who put up with us, because we sat right beside them, earshot away from getting under their skin, which we did, by the way, very successfully.
Yeah. Mark did his job as well. Mark Lapointe, team manager. Who were we playing?
Oh, was it Vermont?
No, it wasn't Vermont. Phoenix, I think.
Maybe it was Phoenix.
No,
it was one of those, or was it? No, it wasn't Boston. That was early in the season.
Boston, near the end of the season, he just got in the face of one of the coaches, and it almost went.
Oh my goodness! I mean, we had some amazing memories. The
ref sent him off, and Mustafa, one of our other members, he just starts saying "na na na na, hey, goodbye."
I mean, yeah, the ref. I mean, sure, he made a call, which, of course, if it's going against you, it's clearly reasonable why he was so angry, and I'm sure we all would be if it happened to us. Yeah. But just given the circumstance that he was the opposing coach, I mean, we had to chirp him for sure.
Yeah, substitute as well.
Yeah, absolute. I mean, it was too much. But I mean, I mentioned that because not only did the visiting teams put up with our shenanigans, which we're proud to do any day of the week. Big shout out to them because they came to us, they heard about us, they talked to us before and after match, congratulated us. You know, to me that's real class right there. Yeah, it's not just, you know, Fury who brought us on board and, you know, thanked us every time we did our thing. I mean, the league, I mean, they were very proud and they supported us 100% because they said, you know, we need supporters clubs like this. So I think we spawned something.
Yeah, well, Boston Victory, they're running it as a real team. They're not going into PDL League just to say, oh yeah, here's a team. No, they're going full-fledged. They want to create. I think they're trying to jump.
We even saw that with the Fury too.
Yeah, I think Boston, maybe Vermont, they're trying to push to try and get into the NASL or the US side. Not too sure which one they want to try, but
right.
You know what? If Boston wants to go for it, do it. I don't see.
I mean, and you know,
the PDL is great. It's a developmental league. Everyone knows that. It's just as supporters, it's too short.
Yeah, for the season, yeah, we know it was really condensed compared to CCFC, which went on for, you know, all summer long, you know, part of spring, even, you know, it dipped into
straight to Halloween.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, you almost went through all 4 seasons, you know, just following, and it was great, you know, to go every weekend. But this year, I mean, there was only 8 home games, and it was within, 2.5 months? So about
2 months, 2 games back to back.
Yeah.
And that was the only downside, truly, I saw about it. We couldn't grow the group as much as we liked to. We were starting to grow because near the end, we got kids joining us.
Yeah, yeah.
And I know it sounds, cutie, he gets the kids, he looks cool, he's playing with them, he's being nice, he's babysitting. But that's the age group we need to hit. If we want to grow our support, we want to grow the love of the game.
I mean, we're actually trying to make ourselves a legitimate supporters club. So I mean, and we try stressing this to the world that, you know, there's a difference between a fan and a supporter, and especially in Ottawa. I don't know how it is in the rest of the world. Well, other than Europe, because you see how crazy it gets, which is what we're trying to aspire to, but it's not going to happen overnight.
Without the sneaking RPGs into the stadium, Molotov cocktails, no flare wars across the pitch from each other,
and no gates, you know, to separate fans and stuff.
Actually, that'd be cool if you end up getting gates. That would be cool.
Anyway, but I mean, like I said, you know, fans in Ottawa, we've become a joke in sports. I'm sorry to say. I mean, we're both from here. We're both homegrown boys from Ottawa, but I mean, we want to be.
You are. I'm not that much homegrown.
Well, whatever.
I'm transplanted, folks.
Exactly. That's true. You know, if we want to get technical, but I mean, the thing is, we're trying to change the culture of it, and slowly we're, you know, like I said earlier, I was giving shout-outs to to every coach and player in the league, you know, home and away, but also shout-outs to the families. You know, at the end of matches, we would have, you know, moms and dads who would bring their kids to games who really sincerely supported us, and that, to me, was a really great indicator of things to come.
Well, the last game of the season, the playoffs during the extra time. We got how many offers to get rides from at least 3 offers?
Oh, exactly.
Oh, it was great.
Because, I mean, we all thought, you know, during CCFC days, people knew we were there, and people knew what we were doing. They got used to it, so they knew where we would sit normally. So, you know, if they didn't want to be near us, they didn't go near us, etc. And we had those, you know, parents who would give us a look going, "Oh, what are you doing?" You know, being a little snob, you know. And you'd see the look on the kid's face, like, "I want to join them. I want to bang that drum. Let me go crazy." No, sit down, you know. But then this year it was a total turnaround. I was shocked.
Kids just came and joined us.
Yeah, exactly. The kids who would would act as hosts for the game, they would come join us, you know, do the thing. Yeah. The parents were 100% supportive.
Yeah,
you know, I was very thankful, you know, to be honest.
We try not to swear as much in front of the kids because, well, you look at me and then you realize swearing's not that good of an idea that young.
Exactly.
So we try to censor ourselves. We try to get the kids involved. Again, I know it sounds like a huge marketing ploy, but let's go.
It is, I swear.
Yeah, let's be realistic. But we're not trying to take their money. No.
We're just doing this for the pure enjoyment of the fact that we just support local football.
Yeah,
we're football fans first and foremost. That goes without saying.
Oh yeah.
And you know, the fact that we have footy in Ottawa to support, that's a bonus. So hence why we started this group.
And let's just get it clear quickly. We are supporters, not super fans, not cheerleaders.
So there, he's the first to put it on record. Thank you, Stephane. Thank you.
A fan goes to a game to watch the game. A supporter goes to a game to be part of the game.
Exactement, mon ami.
Yeah.
So anyway, any predictions for the upcoming season there?
Well, I think the team is fairly young. Stephen O'Kane's got his kids lined up. He's got them working.
Well, does he ever? Holy shit.
Yeah, I think they might add another one or two if some leave.
Right.
I don't know how long Will Boje is going to stay. He might move up. I don't know.
Which, by the way, shout out to Will Boje because he was our only link to CCFC. Okay, because CCFC, we fell in love with them hard, okay? And the fact that we found out that they weren't going to put a team on the pitch for CSL for various reasons, which we will get to, he ends up on the Fury squad, and we were his fan from day one. Yeah. I mean, we were so happy. And eventually, of course, you know, you get to learn the other players' names and you get to see how well they play, etc. I mean, then we just became fans of the entire thing. But, you know, big shout out to you.
Yeah, they were going to do fine.
But we've been seeing, I don't know about you, but I've been seeing these tweets from the Fury, you know, and postings on Facebook where, you know, they're saying, oh, so-and-so, you know, they're playing in this university in Canada or in the United States, and look how great they're doing, da-da-da-da-da-da. You know, Fury pride all the way.
Oh, yeah.
Which we're hoping is going to translate to another magical run this year.
Yeah, and I believe it will. They have young kids. They got decent kids as well, and they have such a good academy system that they can groom the kids from Timbits age to the style they want.
How funny, we're trying to groom the same kids to become supporters.
Don't let people know that.
But then again, they do come join us on their own terms, so, you know, it's all for fun.
I went down to the Canada game, and I showed Anton the picture of my little second cousins, about 3 years old, running around with the Canada flag, trying to make it wave.
Start them young.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know, supporting a team. You know, you're chosen. You don't do the choosing yourself.
Yeah. You do not choose. You're chosen.
Exactly. NASL, Lansdowne developments, which finally have gotten underway.
Time.
Oh my goodness. I mean, if you're not in the loop, Ottawa has been going on about this forever, about what to do with Lansdowne Park, which is the home of Frank Clair Stadium, an institution in this town, as well as the Civic Centre, host of the Ottawa 67s. Frank Clair Stadium, which has held many, many great memories for the Ottawa Rough Riders, Ottawa Renegades.
And U21 World Cups.
Yes, footy as well, you know.
Yeah, Guerrero played there, actually.
So, here's the thing. Lansdowne finally underway to basically building a world-class pitch. Finally. Any, you know, ideas of who could be, like, you know, future coach, future players for, you know, because Fury, they've already got such great players in PDL right now for that level, and then they're going to make the jump in about 2 years' time.
Well,
do you think they'll stay? Do you think, you know, they're going to bring in new people? And
well, coaching staff-wise, I think they're going to have to, because I'm not going to dump on O'Kane, but he has a life. He has jobs.
Yeah, just like every other one of these people.
I think if they're willing, I think they'll bring him on as an assistant.
Okay.
Let him earn his time, let him get his badges, so to speak, and experience, and then eventually. But coaching-wise, tell you the honest truth, one name no one brings up, I'm going to bring it up because it'll be just funny as hell on mine personally anyways. Get Rene Simoes. He brought Jamaica and Trinidad to the World Cups. Yeah, they did nothing, but qualifying out of CONCACAF is hard enough with the States and Mexico. So yeah, let's bring him in for a year or two. Trust me, every Jamaican, Trinidadian just gonna love it.
Hey, why not? If it's gonna help us, why not?
Well, Vinter's available, right? We could always bring in Aaron Vinter, and he could go to MLS. He said, "See, they let me coach."
Him and every other 6 or 7 coaches that didn't make it with TFC after however long.
Let's just bring them all back in, and here, you coach Ottawa just to beat up Toronto.
Exactly.
Okay, sure.
Exactly. Now, speaking of which, now the Fury being who they are in this town, especially if you follow local football, if you play local football, Fury is one of, if not the premier established academy systems that we have.
Oh, yeah.
Because they start, like we said, they start them real young, like a Timbit in hockey, and then, you know, brought up the ranks, you know, right up until PDL, USL.
Yeah.
Now, do you think they're going to, you know, obviously they should keep it.
Yeah,
do you think they're going to upgrade it anyway, or?
I don't think so. Like, I don't know if they're going to stay in the PDL to keep their academy system due to the season being so short that they're going to have to schedule other games. Unfortunately, I would actually say they should put their academy system. I know there's a lot of yays and nays about the CSL. I talked to a few Montreal and Toronto fans about the CSL. Why are the Impact and TFC in the CSL?
Right.
The simple reason I heard was there's more games and you have more time to develop your players.
Right.
The PDL is set up for university students.
Right.
So you need the time to adjust your play style and time to do this with the players. That's why Toronto and Montreal are in the CSL. They don't really care that much about the CSL, I think. They're just more there to build it up. So I say let's keep them. I don't want...
Sounds like Vinter's coaching style, too.
Yeah, I'd say just... I'm not putting down the PDL. As I said before, it's just they need the games. They need that experience.
Exactly. No, we even spoke to John about this, right? Like, you know, even he agrees that the season needs to be prolonged. It's too short. So, totally different angle to still talk about NASL kits. Now, okay, you have to understand, Stephane and I, we are Aston Villa fans. We are going to continue pile driving the fact that we love the Villa because it's a Villa thing, so you wouldn't understand unless you're one of us. Colors. Pick your favorite colors. What are your favorite, like, what would you like to see? Because Ottawa, we're so known for black, red, and white. I mean, do you want to see a change in that culture?
I don't think they will change it. I think they're going to stick with it, considering the ownership group. It's very Ottawa-based trait colors. You notice that with Capital City. But what I don't want to see, I'm going to stress this, people are going to go upside me, down the other. Don't put red as your home jersey. Don't give me the argument, well, it's on our national flag. We're the capital. We should be red. Besides that, why?
Exactly. And I mean, like, you've mentioned this to me before. Like, you know, TFC's already got red.
Yeah, let's copy TFC. Great idea.
Exactly. And we all know how much Ottawa loves to try and be like Toronto. Yeah. Now, Montreal, they've got blue, you know, for obvious reasons.
Go black and white, home and away.
And then, you know, you got Vancouver. They've got a shade of blue, but, I mean, they're right beside the bloody ocean.
Yeah,
so
there's like a...
And they're sponsored by Bell.
Yeah, they're like navy blue, I think it's called.
Sure.
Yeah, leave me alone. My mom had tons of blue clothes, so I had to learn these colors. No, Stephane, I said the navy blue. But this is dark blue. Yes, that's dark blue, not navy blue. It's a bit darker but lighter.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah,
Thanks.
great.
Thanks.
My fashion sense. Right there. Learn the colors.
So wait, okay, so if you don't want red to be the color, so like what colors would you want to see then?
White and black. Like white.
Just plain old white and black?
Well, you could put in a play on Sunderland and Newcastle. Do the stripes. Black and white home, red and white away. Or play on QPR's away kits, the quarters, the yellow and the red.
Okay.
Do some mix-up. Don't be typical and say, "Oh, we're gonna have a red jersey." It's too much red.
So I also know you don't. You have beef, not with Adidas per se, but the fact that Adidas has like taken over a lot of the suppliers, especially in MLS.
Well, they have a contract with MLS.
Exactly. So instead of following into the trap of whatever every other team is doing, do you have a supplier in mind that you'd like to see?
Well, I wouldn't mind Umbro. I think they're with Umbro right now, aren't they?
Umbro, yeah.
Let's stick with it.
Sure.
They're a good company. Unfortunately, they no longer have the England contract. I think Nike has it now.
Yeah.
But they're a good, decent company. I don't see a reason why. The only beef I have with Adidas is every team in the MLS is Adidas, and I'm sorry. I like seeing different jerseys. God, that's an ugly thing. Oh, I never heard of that company before.
Exactly. No, variety. I'm all for variety too, for sure. Now, little more serious matters. I think we touched on this earlier, but if you haven't been following, CBC ran this really interesting story. Thank you. Shout out to Mustafa, by the way, for sending us the link and letting us know beforehand. Basically, there's this gentleman by the name of Ben Rycroft.
Follow him on Twitter. I think he's at California Football, I believe. I'll double check while we do this. Don't worry.
So while Stephane's doing some off-the-cuff research, Ben Rycroft basically did a story on the CSL with what's known as match fixing. So you have these guys, they come in from overseas, basically doing play-by-play, right? Doing play-by-play of whatever match is happening in the CSL particularly. And because people all over the world are placing bets on the game, and what's happening is that players were being approached, probably still are, but players were being approached and being given sums of money to throw games. So obviously, we don't want to see corruption in the sport, or in any sport for that matter. But it's because they brought it to the light that a league like the CSL, which has little to no attention being given to it by hardly anybody, this is why people take advantage of the players. They're not making that much in the league, and they're being approached, to say, "Oh, would you like to make some extra money?" And then all of a sudden, games are being thrown, and you're wondering why a weaker team that should lose on paper ends up winning, by a huge margin. And what really brought it to the light was this championship final. What was it, last year? Or a couple years ago?
A couple years ago against...
Yeah, it was a Quebec team and an Ontario team. Obviously, they hate each other right off the bat. But
Toronto, Croatia, and the old Impact Academy.
Yeah, exactly. So, now, here's the thing, Stephane. Now, because it's been made public, now, do you see an immediate impact, or like a crackdown, or do you think it's going to be more of a gradual process to try and get rid of it, or to police it? What's your opinion, man?
Well, really, with CSA, I don't see them. Their quote is they're waiting on FIFA's decision. You know what? You want to be taken seriously as a country that can produce some footballers, can play football. Stand up.
Exactly.
Don't go running to mommy because your friend's misbehaving in your room. It's your room. Control it.
Exactly.
Cracked down and said, no, fine. Your team has been found out for throwing games. You're out of the league. You're never being reformed.
Exactly.
The players want to come back? Sure. Try it. Go for a trial. Just come down hard.
Yeah.
And why do you think there's so many teams in the Toronto area?
Exactly.
Like, this is just ridiculous. I'm sorry.
No, and like it's the reason why CCFC didn't put a team on the pitch. You know, our owner there, he had found out how things were quote unquote run in the CSL. You know, governed by the CSA. Basically, they weren't playing by the rules that they set themselves. They basically broke their own rules for other teams, and because of this, things were just shady.
Yeah.
Like plain and simple, everything was just really sketchy. And he said, you know what, I want to be a part of a team that's not a team, a league that's actually legit. Something that's actually going to go by the book and police it correctly, and give punishment to those that actually deserve it for reasonable,
Yeah, like one of the rules was having your own field, and how many teams in the CSL play at Lambeau?
Yeah, exactly.
Like at least 3-4 had their home field there. Like I know it's nice; it's a nice central location. I agree, but honestly, 3-4 teams playing at one spot. There's a reason why people turn their heads. That's why people become Euro snobs.
Exactly.
They see this and they say that's not how a league should be run. They turn their head away.
Exactly.
And they don't look back.
Exactly.
I would love to see us pick up our socks and develop this league properly.
And that to me, that speaks a lot about Canadian society. We're very to ourselves.
Yeah. Don't tell me did something wrong. Shh.
Exactly, and no one wants to admit that they made a mistake. But anyway, big shout out to Ben Rycroft again. Thank you very much for bringing it to the light.
If you want to follow him on Twitter, it's at Cali Football.
All right.
Or just search Ben Rycroft.
Yeah, and it took a lot of guts, but to tell the Canadian world on blast it on CBC News.
Football. Canadians who are fan of football knew about this a long time ago.
I mean, we even saw it in the papers too. I was really impressed.
Oh, I heard about it when someone was on the Sean Kay from The Score was talking about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was the guys who got caught for match fixing were tried and convicted in a German court, not a Canadian court, a German court.
Yeah, because we know how very lenient the Germans are, eh?
Yeah.
So. Anyway, anything else you want to tack on before we sign off? Or
no, we more or less hit everything.
Okay.
There's a major event we're working on right now for the supporters.
So please stay tuned for that.
It's with a good charity, Street Soccer Ottawa. It's a national charity, but we're going to deal with the Ottawa branch. It's local. It's not that big. Neither are we. Decided we should try and help we can work together. We can both help build numbers.
Yeah.
It's a great cause. Look it up. I'll put up a link to it later on when I can get to it to put on the site. Right. Unfortunately.
And once the event's complete, then we'll advertise more of it. But right now, we're just going to keep people waiting in the balance to, we're going to keep the suspense going for, as long as we can.
I'm going to try and get us launched by everyone to know exactly what the event is by December the latest.
All right. Now, before we sign off, look us up on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. That's basically the one and only way to get a hold of us. Find Anton and or Stephane. We also
have our own website. It's bytownboys.webs.com. It's also on our Twitter handle. In our Facebook pages, so look us up. We have a forum. We're just trying to get up and running, but it's kind of hard when we're about 4 members.
Exactly. So thank you, Stephane, once again for hosting, for being a part of it and letting me host as well. So until next time, ladies and gents, and hopefully we'll have more news to come later.